Howdy nerds, another day here at Gunner Games. Actually doing one on a Saturday here. I didn't get out a video yesterday on Friday because we were getting rid of that massive pile of the Pokemon Prismatic Evolutions, which has been nuts by the way. So I kept a little bit back for the store, sent the vast majority out to patrons, and we are already sold out. So we have people coming out of the woods basically to buy crazy Pokemon. So even here in rural Utah, it's no different from anywhere else. The Walmarts are sold out. Everyone's gone crazy. The writing, the crying, the moaning about cardboard. So again, I hate to poo-poo on an industry that I'm just so invested in, because this is my livelihood, is to sell Pokemon cards. But there has to be a happy medium between this hysteria of people going literally nuts over cardboard rectangles and a healthy dose of like collecting and having fun. And again, I just do not, going back to videos months ago, I still do not think this is organic. I think this is a lot to do with just the madness of crowds, where when hysteria happens, everyone seems to get involved. So people that had nothing to do with Pokemon or maybe little dabblers are now going hard on this Pokemon hysteria. And it reminds me of things like fidget spinners, or what are some other things that in the past like 10 years of people just lost their minds over, and then you can't find them in stock, and it just leads to overprinting, and then we see the collapse of markets. And how many times this Pokemon does this over and over and over and over again, and I don't think that this time is going to be any time different. So enjoy the ride while we have it. Again, I don't like these markets. Yes, it's nice to make money if I can actually get product, but distribution is an absolute mess. I'm having problems with every distributor across the board. Every single one of them is just an absolute headache to work with right now because they're overwhelmed. I think that there were probably at the distribution level, there was a lot of layoffs in the 2023, 2024 early era, and nothing has caught back up yet. So it is crazy. It's not just Pokemon. We are now seeing shortages in Magic the Gathering, with Aether Drift going absolutely nuts. Aether Drift also was apparently underprinted because Wizards of the Coast was worried about the demand for Aether Drift, and it was actually a lower print run, or at least they didn't ramp it up due to the increased amount of markets. I mean, everyone is still reeling from the 2022 market. It was just absolutely abysmal, and it's just crazy how fast that rubber band has snapped. So anyway, let's enjoy some pizza here and maybe talk shop here. So the good news is I do have a chance to unload all this crap. So all this stuff is going to be going up on what I'm going to call the rogue market. So I'm going to create a little Google spreadsheet, maybe a website, and just throw up all the Pokemon. And this is going to be eligible to any patron to order at discounted off of TCG market price. So typically what I do is just kind of split the fee with patrons, and you know, whatever shipping and fee would be is where the price of this is going to fall at. And yeah, so if you are a patron, any patron with the $10 tier or above is eligible to order all this Pokemon stuff that's been building up. And I think it's a good time to get out of it right now. I think that, you know, I've made profit on it. I'm glad I didn't sell at the lull of all this type of product. You can see I got some juicy stuff here that has been building up over time. And the same is going to do with this Magic the Gathering. The Magic the Gathering, I'm just going to start selling it off. So things that are starting to go up in price that I've noticed a lot are things like pre-release kits. There are no Bloomburrow Play Boosters available right now at distribution. Duskmorn is also sold out at distribution. So both of these are sold out at the Play Booster level, and the pre-release kits are long gone, so I'm expecting them to go up in price. We have things like March Machines that are now gone at distribution level. Wowzilla Drain Draft Boosters are gone at distribution level. There are a lot of crazy things that are happening, and I did not anticipate the market to rebound, or I guess rebound is not the right word, because this is more than a rebound. This is just absolute nuts craziness of the market of the early 2025. So it's not just that, it's to show that it's a healthy market, at least in Magic the Gathering, is we're seeing standard prices eclipse some of their greatest times in recent memories, at least. We saw standard be very low for years and years and years. It didn't matter if it was a 4 of a competitive deck. It didn't even move the price of a rare or an uncommon or even a mythic. You had some exceptions if they did see both commander and standard play, like something like Shouldered, or it had some dipping in something like Pioneer or Modern. Those type of cards did accrue some value, but the vast majority of standard didn't matter. It didn't matter because there wasn't a lot of excitement to be played in that format, and there wasn't a lot of demand outside of Commander for Magic the Gathering for a long time here in the ecosystem. So we have seen standard just absolutely grow in both viewership is up for the people that actually make YouTube content. I'm noticing a lot of a revival in the numbers of some of the more popular of the content creators. Like that's what I used to do. Maybe I'll have to get back into it, of creating standard decks and whatnot and showcasing it. So that the Twitch numbers are up. The viewership for the official Magic the Gathering streams are all up, and the sales data is following suit here. So some crazy things about what a standard is. We're seeing what I see, I think, $11 uncommon in, and it's not just a standard. I know that card sees play. It's the aura that exiles something. It's like $7 or $11 or some nonsense like that. And again, we have not seen prices for those in a long time. It shows that the collector boosters were probably underprinted compared to, I mean, we wanted their sheer data, but obviously the single prices alone can probably show there's less collector boosters, or just less cards in general around in the ecosphere for cards to be able to hit the $3, $4, $7 uncommons, and then rares also, having no problem hitting in the 12, 13, 14, 15. Again, those things were unheard of. If you actually go back to, was it Zendikar Rising or one of them that had remember the Sylvan, there was the bear, the 2/2 that turned into a 4/5. Can't remember the card, but anyway, it was a 4 of in 60% of all decks in standard, and it couldn't even hit past $5. And it just shows that the Wizards of the Coast has navigated this very well as far as the secondary market is concerned, if they're going to be able to eke out secondary market prices, with shifting everyone's purchasing to collector's boosters, which basically just means that the cost per card has gone up when people, the market has purchased them, and therefore the reflection of that is going to be cards can retain a higher value. Now, no longer we're seeing a ton of cards come into the ecosphere from draft boosters that were cheap for like $70 now. Most cards that are coming in are coming from collector boosters. But the crazy thing too is that the collector boosters is odd because we didn't see a foil multiplier for quite some time in Magic the Gathering, especially standard. And now there's a foil multiplier again for a lot of singles. So it is a crazy time to be alive in the Magic the Gathering market. And it's just, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bust my ass off and I'm going to sell everything right now in it too. I know a lot of this is price correction because we've had some historic inflation happening in the past few years, and a lot of the collectible worlds hadn't really followed inflation. It stayed stagnant. So we're seeing that rebound to match inflation. However, I think that this is definitely more robust than that. Just that there's a lot of just energy in the atmosphere. And as far as Magic is concerned, it's across the board with collecting, with playing. Commander is still in a very healthy shape even after the debacle over the bannings, and has rebounded just fine. And now we see standard and modern just really taking off. So yeah, great time. Speaking of which too, things like Commander Masters and Modern Masters 3 and 2, I think this is the last time to get in on those while they're still cheap. I think they're also going to have a price readjustment back up to where they should be, because those have been at distribution level, or at least a little bit lower than distribution level, for quite some time. Rogue Market channel, we will be reviving it. I'm going to be talking about the first 2 items that I think are really good buys right now at the distribution level. To give you a sneak peek, is those Ravnica Clue editions. The Ravnica Clue editions now are actually positive EV to crack them, which is sad because it's supposed to be a game that's played. The Clue is supposed to be kind of a board game, but now it is actually positive EV to crack the Clue editions and just sell the singles with the Shocklands from that set rebounding. And a lot of those cards from the Clue edition are now $5, $6, $7, which do add up, and they do sell, which is kind of crazy. So my Rogue Market channel is going to be focused more on that, with more of the arbitrage opportunities and the buys at distribution level that I think are worthwhile. The other product that I'm going to talk about is the starter collections. So the starter Commander collections are getting a reprint, and $75 is like the cost at distribution for a set. And a set right now on TCG Player is selling for $200, and it's multiple sales per day. So again, this market is incredibly strong to be able to eat that up. It shows a lack of people that are in this market of like at the store level. I think so many people got crushed in 2023 and 2024, especially a lot of the people are trying to do it solely online without a brick and mortar. And a lot of the brick and mortar, with the cost of utilities and rent, I think a lot of them just have closed doors. I've heard a lot of anecdotes from a lot of people saying how their local store have collapsed and whatnot. So speaking of which, a good way to plug my Patreon, I may be readjusting the patron levels to try to serve everyone better and give you people some ideas. And if you don't have a local game store, I highly suggest looking in and signing up for a high tier on my Patreon, and you can provide for your entire scene. I have a bunch of guys that are in rural areas that don't have a local game store, and they buy everything from board games to sleeves to play mats to prize support, all that stuff. I'm their one-stop shop for their entire gaming needs. So if you hate your local game store, if you don't have one, or if you just want to play with your own group, I highly encourage you to check that out. That's something I'm going to be focusing on too, is giving people an idea of how to run those type of events. A little bit of backstory about me. We used to, before there was a store here in Richfield, Utah, we actually used to do F&M in my basement. So I just have a bunch of friends come over, and I kind of was like the market there and just provided. It's funny, I used to actually use my Cool Stuff Inc. So I used to actually write for Gathering Magic / Cool Stuff Inc. And instead of having them pay me, I'd have them pay me in store credit, because they would give me like a 40% towards store credit, and then I'd wait for a sale, and then I'd buy a bunch of booster boxes, and then I'd use it for like drafts and prize support for my little F&M I was doing on Friday nights in my basement. So all those things are kind of fun. So all that's available. If like I said, I haven't liked the shift of where Magic the Gathering has gone. Wizard of the Coast has gone with this whole premium stores. And with the thing too that's been really ticking me off lately about Wizard of the Coast, they're no longer sending promotional materials out to stores. They are now trying to make you buy the promotional material. So they've created this entire shop that's supposed to customize what you want, whether it be posters or flyers or little doodads to put around your store. And now you can tailor it to your needs of your store. So if you want a little display that showcases booster packs here, if you want a little sign or a flag or a big poster, then you can actually order it from them. They have their own little unit that's handling that, and the prices are absolutely obscene. We're talking about like $20 for a small poster or $50 for a like a large sign. So it's kind of ticking me off, because it reminds me of Wizard of the Coast is now like trying to step into the retail or the real estate market / the franchising market. It's kind of like the whole switcheroo that McDonald's did. It's like, okay, we're not going to focus on selling hamburgers. We're going to focus on selling to franchisees. So it's another way that the Wizard of the Coast is just milking their, strategic partners to be like, trying to play this out as like this like really good, awesome thing that you can do as a store that now, well, look, we can do this, we can customize it. Well, I can literally go down to my local sign store and get all this stuff printed out for cheaper. And a lot of companies allow you to do that. They actually, so for Star Wars just released a package of promotional material with all the PDFs, with all the images that you can literally just then take down to your local print shop and have it printed off. And, Wizard of the Coast, they want to cut that out completely and upcharge for it. So it's a discussion I have to have sometime about like how I can't stand this company. How this company is so greedy, and it just shows you of late stage corporatism where, they want to control everything of the industry. I've talked about how the secret layers and a lot of this reprinting from Wizard of the Coast was the jealousy of the secondary market and how much money the secondary market was. So Wizard of the Coast, of course, want to get in on that. And, that's why they do like the secret layers, and now they're doing the boxes direct to consumers and all, cutting out distribution in local game stores that way. And now you can't even get your promotional materials for free. Now you have to buy them directly from Wizard of the Coast so they can, upcharge you that way. And still, their whole push to premium, I've heard some horror stories on the WPN network of what they do is they give out these incredibly predatory loans to these stores that want to start a premium store, and say, hey, here, we'll give you a grant, an 8% per year or whatever it is. Oh, it's market. We'll match the market and we'll provide. But the whole thing they're missing out there is they're upcharging for a lot of the infrastructure. So they'll sell you tables and displays and all the stuff you need. So you don't need to go anywhere. Wizard of the Coast will handle all. We'll handle it all for you. But that's where they get you on these things. They're not charging market price for a lot of this stuff. It's at a premium. And then if I've heard horror stories of these stores that have come close to paying off their entire loan. If you close business before that loan is paid off, or you close whatever, you don't fulfill your terms, Wizard of the Coast just comes and repossesses all of that infrastructure. And other stores that have then signed up for the program have then said they've got this hand-me-down, this used, the secondhand stuff from other stores that have gone out of business, because how they've been able to verify that is they've looked under like the table or under the little display things, and there'll be like, oh, this was for the X store. So anyway, this is a rant that I have to have some other day about Wizard of the Coast, that I wish this damn company would just focus on making cardboard, and that's that, without trying to go into all these other directions. But it just kind of shows corporatism of where, you know, it's just unchecked right now with our antitrust and monopoly laws, where these corporations can just start meddling in all aspects of a certain economy. And it's just not really healthy for competition at that point. Like I said, they should be focused. It's not healthy for companies. And eventually, a little bit of backstory here, like one of my very first jobs out of college was sales for Sears. And I knew that Sears was going to go bankrupt when I was working for them, because it didn't matter if we were the rudest, meanest, we could be the laziest, cashiers or floor sales, you want to call it whatever you want to call that possible, if we signed up enough people for credit cards. Like, Sears was more focused on signing people up for credit cards than they were for selling their products. And I just knew that was the beginning of the end for that company, when the focus had gone from their product to just being a predatory credit card sign-up company. And so again, that's kind of the sign that I'm seeing with Wizard of the Coast. But man, we got a kind of weird rant here with me. I was talking about Pokemon. He got me on a Saturday with my thing, but I don't want to show off my pizza here, because this is what this channel is all about. I should make a pizza channel. So I got this beautiful pizza. I finally got back into making pizza. So if you're ever here at the store, we got a classic cheese with a little bit of olives on the top. This is just like, had some leftover olives, so I just chucked it. Awesome little, what does the undercarriage look like on this guy? It's a decent undercarriage on this one. And then we got this is what I call the Colton Especial. It's my brother-in-law. He loves this particular one. And it's chicken and ham and bacon. And it's made actually with a Chick-fil-A sauce. That's what I use, the Chick-fil-A sauce that you can buy at your grocer as the sauce instead of marinara. And we have a classic pepperoni. So this one's actually came out pretty good here. So a little bit overproof to the dough. That's why you get kind of crackery bottom here. That's what happens, is this dough was like, I think it's like 8 days old. So anyway, that'd be so fun to actually start a little pizzeria, but I know I'd be the worst person imaginable to actually manage something like that. But it's fun to cook, fun to, you know, come up with a hobby like this. So kind of the story about pizza is we actually would have so much pizza here. People would bring in all the Pizza Huts and Little Caesars and Domino's, and man, like all those chains are pretty bad. But here in rural Utah, the fast food here takes it to a whole new level of bad. So if you're ever in this area, I don't recommend eating anywhere. Our Taco Bell is trash, our McDonald's is trash, our Burger King is trash. It's like all of it's inedible here. And like, I'm actually kind of a fan of like of Wendy's and Arby's when I, visit places, but here in Richfield, it's awful. And the pizza is no exception. The Domino's is trash. The pizza is absolutely horrid, like inedible. And so we'd have so many people bringing in pizza all the time when they play here that I'm like, I just got so sick of it. I'm like, that's it. I'm done. I'm going to the school of YouTube. I'm learning how to cook some pizza. So that's kind of the story with that. Anyway, got me on kind of a tangent here. I'm glad I'm feeling back to normal and energetic again. So things will get back to usual. I'm looking forward to making some videos. And let me know what type of content you guys would like. Like I said, I'm trying to like gear towards teaching people how to like run a successful play group. I think that'd be a fun little topic of like what kind of products would be good to start. Because that's one thing I keep, every time I want to rage quit this industry, I'm like, man, that'd be such a waste for me to quit this industry, because I don't know if there's anyone as knowledgeable as I am with like just games in general, board games, accessories, stuff like that. And it just feels like that's kind of my calling now in life. So I hope to serve everyone's needs for that. If you are looking for any of these type of products, again, I'm going to just start throwing all of these things up on my little Google spreadsheets and start selling them. And fund a trip to Moldova, I think, again. And yeah, that's about it. That's all I got for today. Appreciate everyone sticking around and all the encouraging comments that on my last video. Thanks everyone. Like I said, this was a really rough past couple of months. I think everything just, comes in 3s or 4s of setbacks. So, it's been rough, but we'll get through it. Anyway, this has been Kevin with Gone Rogue Games. Thanks for watching.